Hey folks, Engineer 775 here on a cold morning, and what are we up to today? Well, what we're going to do is try to salvage this bored well. We find a lot of these on a lot of our projects, and people don't know what to do with them, and this has kind of been abandoned, but I hate filling them in. I know they can be dangerous if they don't have a good lid on them, but this well has serviced this home, this location, for many, many years. So the customer did drill a new well, and we're solar water pumping and all that, but I said this is a great backup well. So what we're going to do is put a simple pump in here today, and what we end up doing is putting in, and I already did this part, we end up purchasing the pedestal mount from Simple Pump, which has the clamp, 4 bolts, and we just hammer drill through and bolt it up. A lot of times these things are in such bad shape, it ends up being the pedestal mount that holds the thing together. So and then we hammer drill a center hole to get the pump down through. There's two versions of this pedestal mount, one with just a Simple Pump clamp, and there's another one that has a regular 4-inch cap that you can put a submersible pump in here or a solar pump in here and the hand pump combo. So you can do 2 things. We already did enough of that up in the other well, so we're just using the simplified pedestal mount, and it'll have the simple pump alone. And then we're going to take this, we actually tied it into the house plumbing, and we're going to put a hydrant over here. You can see this PVC pipe stubbed up. We're going to put a frost-free hydrant in there, and then we'll be able to backfeed and with a hand pump and pressurize the bladder tank for the house. So, all right, we're about to, this is very shallow. The well's only 25 foot deep, 10 foot static, and it's been a good well, so we're going to go ahead and utilize it using a Simple Pump hand pump in a bored well. So you can pretty much put a Simple Pump in any kind of well if you've got the room, tons of room in a bored well. So here we go. Okay, we're getting the next step. I know there's other Simple Pump videos that we've done in the past, but right now with the way things are going on, a lot of people are inquiring about the Simple Pump. So I just thought I'd show you the components for when you put your own in, if you want. This is the piston. This is a 5 gallon a minute piston. It has a check valve in the bottom, and there's a check valve in the piston. It's just a double acting piston in here. So when the piston goes down, when you lift your handle, it goes and it grabs about a foot of water, and then when you push the handle down, it lifts that water up. So technically it's a lift pump, it's not a suction pump. Each one of these sections is 9 foot long, these drop pipes, and the very top drop pipe gets a weep hole, and we'll show you that. The fiberglass rods, these are what connect the piston to the handle at top, and we'll show you those components. We're going to start putting this in the well though, and to do that they supply a little safety tool, a little tuning fork looking device that just sits on here, and this keeps you from dropping your well pump down the hole. You never want to do that. That's a bad day. And then these little rod guides, they go inside the drop pipes to keep the fiberglass rod centered in the pipe, and we'll show you that. Okay, you definitely want 2 people when you put these in, but I have put them in by myself. It's not fun. It's just you need another set of hands. It's very easy, just you need some help. With this clamp assembly, you loosen the clamp before you put your piston in, and you want to make sure you just have hands on the pump. This is where you don't want to drop. Go ahead, just fill. I can drop it here. We can jump down in here and retrieve this as a bored well. But on a deep well, you don't want to play around. You want to have extra set of hands. So I'm putting the safety tool on, and that safety tool just captures the stainless steel coupling. So now it's suspended, and that keeps you from having a bad day. So, and the rod guide, we put that over the sucker rod, and that keeps that nice and centered. So not in water yet. And you can feel it when you're like, where am I? I don't know where I'm at. Am I in water yet or not? You can feel it, and you can hear the check valve ratcheting when you're in water, and you'll see it'll pop right up too. Okay, next pipe. Okay, we're putting our next section of pipe in, and we're just tightening the sucker rod together. So you just tighten them together. They have a prick punch on them, so they're mechanically deformed, so they do not come apart. You can take them apart, they just don't come apart as easy. And then you Teflon each threaded joint. Everything threads together. The tools are all very simple. And then you thread it together and hand tighten it. You don't need to kill it, but we do hand tighten each section. Okay, the last step of the installation, well, one of the last steps, is putting the pump head, the stainless steel pump head, on to your top drop pipes. And they provide all the materials. There's a threaded nipple there. You just Teflon it up, tighten it up. And then this cylinder is also one of the items that gets threaded onto the top drop pipe. And then we set this down in, and this is what this clamp is for. This clamp is going to tighten on this 1.25 inch cylinder, and you set the height that you want. That helps for ergonomics. And this handle is actually a 36-inch handle. This one should have a 24-inch handle. I just didn't have one. We're going to swap it out in a bit. Okay, the final product. The simple pump is really simple. You have a check valve and a pressure gauge, so you can kind of see what you're pressurizing your bladder tank to, and you can plumb that in a variety of different ways. And then when we put a yard hydrant in here next week, we will backfeed from this, and this is a hose thread, and over to the hose thread on the frost-free hydrant, so we can supply the house with water. So very simple to pump. Again, a 2-foot, when you have a shallow well like this one, a 2-foot handle. See how I'm choking up on the handle and I'm not hardly applying. This is just one finger pumping water. There's no effort at all to get water out of this well. So they're awesome. And you can build like 150 PSI, so you can pump water over that mountain if you need to. So very easy install. So you want, if the power's out, you just need to get some water. But the beauty of a simple pump is that you're not just getting water here. You can send water wherever you have plumbing on the property. And so we're going to have spigots everywhere on this property. We're going to feed this house, and there will be a bladder tank, which is actually way up there, that we can pressurize. So you can have some stored water as well, stored water under pressure. So you don't have to come out here at 2 in the morning if you need water. So super easy. Again, we'll swap this out with a 2-foot handle, and that will just make it easier, because pumping out here is like, I mean, you could sit in a chair and just simply pump. This thing is like no effort at all to get water out. Anyway, that's the simple pump. We've put in over 400 of these. It's just they've worked extremely well for what they are for. They won't compete with a submersible, but it'll keep you alive. All right, this is Engineer 775 signing out.